Hi guys, it's Ramon here, and today we're going to be looking at these two guitars I've got ready for slide. I call this one here a Cudacaster because it's really a replica of Cooder's guitar, and I call this one the Cudacaster because it's kind of my own version of this, using a 52 Blackguard Telecaster chassis, and we've got the Guiatone pickup here in the neck. So I just want to tell you what these pickups are first. So the valco pickups in these two guitars are both original 1950s valco pickups, okay? And this is an original 1960s Tiesco pickup in the neck, and this is an original 1960s Guiatone in the neck here. And I'm going to tell you, the pros and cons of having the original pickups and why I've gone to kind of the end of the earth to find these pickups and to install them, and was it worth all the hassle? So that's kind of what this video is for. I've talked about this one loads, and really this is one of the first, probably this is this was probably one of the guitars where I really felt that I got close to the original Cooder guitar. A great guy called Pete in Suffolk in England, near where they make Celestian speakers. He did the work on this to get this pickup into this guitar, so he cut it. This is an original from a lap steel. I bought the lap steel and then I took this off, sold the lap steel and kept this. And Pete, great guy, he cut it and fitted this into the guitar. And then I found the original Cooder style Tiesco. And the thing about this guitar is it had a really cutting sound, which I loved. Okay, and it sounded like the Cooder guitar. Now when I built this thing, instead of, because I didn't want to have that kind of big bass plate, I wanted it to be somewhat lighter because I was travelling to Morocco a lot and North Africa and West Africa, whatever. And so I wanted it to kind of be a bit lighter. And so I got originally I had this pickup here, which is a Mojo valco pickup. So you can see there it says Mojo on the back. And this was Mojo's replica of this pickup, that pickup there on the Cudacaster. So this is what lived on this guitar since really its inception. It's probably, I don't know how many years old it is now, but anyway, a good few years. I've had this pickup living in this guitar, and I was never really happy with the tone. And it's not to say that this is a pickup that doesn't work, because it works, and it works as a slide pickup, it's good. But it's not the same as the original pickup, which is kind of like a replica of. It's a different sound, and I don't know why that is, but it is. Another thing about this pickup, and what is different about the sound, well, you can hear any video prior to this video with me and this guitar, you're going to hear the sound of this pickup. But normally what I'd have to do to get any treble out of it, I have to combine the two of the pickups out of phase, and that would get me a more cutting sound than this just on its own. So I never really used, with this pickup selected on its own, I'd use them both together out of phase, and that's how I get my more cutting sound out of this guitar. So I kind of wasn't really happy with that situation. Another problem I found with this Mojo pickup is the plate here takes up more real estate than this. Okay, so you probably can't see that, but if I put these two pickups over the top, I don't know if you can see this here. You've got a bit of you probably can't see this, but it's hard to get an angle on the camera, but suffice to say that this is bigger, this plate is bigger than this. So it's not really a replica in terms of its size. I prefer the original ones because they're smaller. Okay, so you can get your hand in, it's only a couple of mil, but a couple of mil on a guitar, means a lot. So they're the two problems with this pickup. Otherwise, it's very well made. It's a robust pickup. It's very well made. And it does the trick. If you want to get into slide guitar and you don't want to have the hassle of buying this pickup and also modifying it to fit into the guitar. Because the downside for this pickup is, well, very fortunately for those bass players, anyone who plays bass knows the Bass Gallery in Camden. It's a guitar store run by Martin, and a great guy called John works there. And Martin cut this bass plate here, this pickup, had this big metal plate, square plate. Okay, so it was different from the design of the one in the Cudacaster. It was just square. And a good friend of mine called Michael Messer in England, I think he actually incorporated that square
sort of design into his guitar. He was one of the first guys in England. He was the first guy in England to build a Cudacaster. That's a fact, and I was shortly after, but he was the first guy. But what Michael Messer does is incorporate the whole plate into the design of the guitar. I didn't. I got Martin with an angle grinder. He cut the same base plate at the area of this, and he did the same with that. The only trouble is the Mojo pickup is thinner. It's got a thinner piece of base plate, and this is thicker. Okay, so what I might have to do is shim the neck at some point, or route the body a little bit and push that pickup down, because the strings, as I'm looking at them, the strings running through the pickup should be really dead center. You want them dead center for the vibrations, and this is just a tad closer to the pole pieces, just like a half a mil, whatever. But that makes a huge difference, because then you have problems with rattling against, the string rattles against the pole pieces, which is a really horrible sound. So that's the only problem with this. That's the downside to this pickup. But that's really the only one. So first of all, I'm just going to demonstrate the sound of this guitar with this original pickup. Okay, from the 1950s. It's got the same bass plate as the Cooder one. We're just going to demonstrate this one, and I'll show you the sound of it. So it's got that nice kind of treble, great soloing sound, very melodic, especially nice bit of treble, very melodic sort of, great for playing melodies, And I'm going to show you now. This is a bit louder because the strings, like I said, the strings are a little bit too close to the pole pieces, so I might have to turn down a bit. Also, this has got flat wounds, the other one had round wounds, but you've got this kind of nasal quality with this pickup, which is just absolutely fantastic. So there you go. This is the kind of experiment worked, because initially I thought that this would be the same sound as this, the original 50 ones, but it's not. It's not the same sound. In fact, it sounds like a different pickup. That's the God's honest truth, in my opinion. So this really, if I don't know why the originals sound so drastically different, but they do, and they're just. It's just, when you're using overdrive, like from the Dumble amps, the overdrive station, it's just an incredible sound from this pickup. Because this is as Cooder says, this is your rock pickup, it's your rock and roll pickup. So it's got to be able to cut through the mix, and this one, the Mojo just doesn't cut through the mix. Now I'm not having to go at it, it's a really well made pickup, and I do like Mark from Mojo's pickups, they're good quality pickups. But I just want to be honest. Personally, I would go, I know it's a bit of a hassle, but I would try and get the original ones. Obviously, we don't want to be, breaking all these beautiful lap stills. It's a shame, really, but that's my honest opinion. Is the originals just sound absolutely amazing, and I just want to say a big thanks to the Bass Gallery for making this and cutting it out of this big steel plate and getting it into this guitar, because really I feel that this now is just a beautiful instrument. You've got your Gaia tone, and then you've got your rock and roll pickup.
nasal, very mid-range sound. It's a very, it's a beautiful sort of honky sound, and it's that Cuder sound. You know, that's it. And this guitar didn't have it, and now it does. So I'm really happy with this pickup. If you can find one, amazing. They're a little bit of kind of a bit of a hassle sometimes to get them to work, but if you can get them to work, that's really cool. Now, and one last thing. So I don't know if these are two bits of metal, because some of them have a metal magnet on one half and some have a wooden magnet, and I didn't actually check that. No, I think this is, so no, this has got two magnets. So this particular one has actually got two real magnets, but the Cudacaster one actually has one wooden magnet and one wooden magnet and one metal magnet, Alnico, whatever it is, I don't know what it's made of. So, but actually this has got two metal magnets. I've replaced them because the signal was a little bit weak with one wooden magnet and one metal magnet. I know that sounds strange, guys, but they paint him silver. The piece of wood they paint silver, so it looks like a magnet, but it's not in fact a magnet at all. So there you go, guys. My honest opinion about the Valco pickups, and I don't want to bash the Mojo Valco because Mark does a really good job, but that's my opinion about this pickup versus these, you know, the originals. I would go for the originals if I were you, but failing that, if you're just getting into slide guitar and you don't have and you don't want to have all the hassle, then this will suffice. This will get you. This pickup will work, but it's not the right Cooder tone. So just bear that in mind. So thanks for watching this, guys. I'll be back soon. Take care.